The electronic melody of my doorbell chimed. On the live feed, Karen Richardson, HOA social chair, jabbed her finger at my doorbell. "Alex, I know you're in there. Everyone in Oakwood Estates is required to contribute to the HOA Block Party Fund. It's not optional." I pressed the talk button. "I've reviewed the HOA bylaws thoroughly, and there's absolutely nothing that requires residents to contribute to social events. I'm choosing not to participate." Karen's face contorted in disbelief. "Who do you think you are? Do you want to be known as the neighborhood freeloader?" The word voluntary was right there in the bylaws, but Karen treated her position like a dictatorship. After ignoring her emails demanding a mandatory $100 donation, the doorbell visits began. After the third confrontation, things escalated. I found a fluorescent pink violation, failure to support community initiatives notice taped to my mailbox. I began photographing and documenting everything. Karen organized an impromptu meeting across the street, whispering about new guy, and thinks the rules don't apply. One evening, Karen and her husband, Bob, confronted me on my porch. She threatened, "We'll have you fined. The board can levy fines for non-compliance." I challenged her, "Show me where in the bylaws it states that social contributions are mandatory." As I went inside, I heard her say, "You'll regret moving to Oakwood Estates. Troublemakers don't last long." The escalation peaked when Karen parked her SUV to block my driveway, filming me and shouting, "The neighborhood needs to see what kind of person is living among us." Then, at 5:30 a.m., my camera caught Karen scattering dozens of block party flyers on my lawn and shoving a bag of expired food under my porch. This was the final straw. I called the non-emergency police line. Officer Rodriguez arrived and reviewed the chronological video evidence. "This is clear harassment and potentially criminal trespassing and littering." As if on cue, my doorbell chimed. Karen was back with official-looking papers. Officer Rodriguez opened the door just as Karen was about to knock. The look of shock on Karen's face was priceless. She stammered about delivering notices. Officer Rodriguez maintained her professional demeanor. "Ma'am, we have video evidence of you harassing Mr. Parker, trespassing on his property, littering, and making what could be construed as threats." Karen's voice rose sharply. "I was performing my duties as a board member." She claimed it was an unwritten rule that everyone knew. Officer Rodriguez countered, "Unwritten rules aren't enforceable." Karen then made a critical mistake, pointing at the officer. "Do you know who I am in this community? I can have your supervisor on the phone in 5 minutes. You have no jurisdiction over HOA matters." Karen ignored the officer's warning and pulled out her phone. "I'm calling 911 right now to report both of you for harassment." Officer Rodriguez sighed and called for backup. As neighbors emerged, the tide turned. Mrs. Johnson stepped forward. "Officers, Karen has been harassing several of us. She threatened to have my garden gnomes removed last week because I only donated $50. Another mother testified that Karen threatened to deny her access to the community pool. As Officer Chun attempted to escort Karen to the police cruiser, she made her final worst decision. She slapped his hand away. Officer Chun calmly secured her hands behind her back. "Karen Richardson, you're under arrest for harassment, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and now assaulting a police officer." The entire neighborhood watched in stunned silence as Karen, still yelling about community standards, was escorted away. The actual HOA board president sent me a formal apology letter and confirmed that all social events were voluntary. Karen was removed from the board effective immediately. Karen was charged with multiple counts, including assaulting a police officer. The judge sentenced her to 6 months probation, a $1,000 fine, and mandatory community service, picking up litter in public parks. The look of utter shock and indignation on her face as the sentence was read was something I'll never forget.